Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. I feel like I've been wanting to film this for so long, you guys. It's just so hard with a newborn. I am very sleep deprived. Honestly, it's a miracle that I was even able to put makeup on right now. I mean, my hair is an absolute mess, but that's fine. That's just my life now. It's been 3 weeks since I've given birth and I just wanted to make sure that I do a postpartum update for you guys, tell you all about how I'm feeling physically, emotionally, how I'm recovering, and everything that's been helping me or my postpartum must-haves. So let's see if I'm able to do this today. She is down for a nap. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I feel like I'm always on a timer these days. I always have to decide what I want to do during that short window of free time. Do I want to clean? Do I want to shower? Do I want to eat? Do I want to film? So today I decided to film. So I'm gonna try to make this quick because I have no idea when she's going to be up and crying for the boobs. So let's get to it. Okay, so this is the situation 3 weeks postpartum. I'm still looking a little pregnant, looking a little pudgy. I wish I took a photo of what my body looked like right after I gave birth because it was a lot bigger. I literally looked like I was still in the third trimester. So it already shrunk a lot at this point. But yeah, still feels like jello. I have absolutely no core strength. Don't know exactly how much weight I've lost since giving birth. I haven't really been looking at the scale lately, but I did gain more than the average. And I'm doing air quotes because I know it's different for every pregnancy. But let me actually show you what the belly looks like. I can't believe I'm doing this, but here we go. Ta-da! So definitely still very pudgy. Again, it really feels like jello. I surprisingly did not get any stretch marks. If you watched my first and second trimester recap video, I did mention that I was expecting to get stretch marks because it's genetic, but surprisingly, I did not get any stretch marks. I don't know if you can tell. My linea negra is still there and very dark, and my navel seemed to have stretched and it looks a lot bigger now. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. It's only been about 3 weeks, so I'm not really expecting my body to be back in shape. You've been pregnant for 9 months. You can't expect your body to be back in shape in a snap. I mean, eventually I do want to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight, but I am pretty sure that my dimensions are never going to be the same again, and that's totally fine. I'm not going to go crazy over it, you know? Also, yes, my room is a mess. Again, I have a newborn. So I've been using a belly band. I don't know if you guys watched my what's in my hospital bag video, but on that video I mentioned that I was going to ask my midwife what she thinks of me using a belly band, and she actually gave me the go ahead. She said that it actually helps support your core and your back, which I totally agree. I started wearing this 24 hours after I gave birth, and I definitely feel like it helped support my core and my back because after giving birth it just feels, again, I keep saying it just feels like jello. So aside from compressing everything and helping get your belly back in shape, it also really supports your core and your back. So this is what I've been using. I just got this from Amazon. It comes in 3 pieces. It comes with a waist belt, a belly belt, and a pelvic belt. I think that one I haven't really used. I've just been using the waist belt and the belly belt, and I'll just show you real quick how I have been wearing it. So this is the belly belt, and all I do is wrap that around real tight. And then I get the waist belt and put that over it. Okay, so one thing that I really wanted to talk to you guys about is baby blues, because this hit me really hard, like so hard. I wasn't expecting it at all. Literally, it was worse than my pregnancy hormones, and my pregnancy hormones were bad. I know about postpartum depression, and it was definitely something that I tried my best to be aware of because it's a real thing and a serious thing that happens to a lot of women. But just looking at the symptoms and how I'm feeling now, I know that what I was feeling was not postpartum depression, but just baby blues. I just remember the first time it hit me, maybe 2 or 3 days after giving birth. I just remember waking up in bed and out of habit putting a hand over my belly to feel baby's movements, and I just got hit by the realization that my baby wasn't in my belly anymore, and I just started crying. And I know that sounds weird, but it just hit me that I was not gonna feel her movements anymore, that she wasn't inside me anymore, and I just instantly missed being pregnant. Don't get me wrong, I'm extremely happy that she's here and she's healthy, but you know, you're pregnant for so long and then all of a sudden you're not, and it just feels like a huge part was just detached from you. you, and that just really got to me. So I felt down about that maybe for a couple days, but it didn't stop there. The first few nights with a newborn is really tough. At least it was for me. You're sleep deprived and your hormones again are just all over the place. I was just feeling very emotional. I put so much pressure on myself that I started stressing myself out, thinking that I wasn't doing things right, or I wasn't doing enough, or my baby doesn't love me. And I know it sounds so silly saying it out loud, but again, it was baby blues. I was literally just overwhelming myself, thinking about taking care of the baby, taking care of my husband, taking care of the house, taking care of myself, and literally no one was stressing me. I was just stressing myself, and it was just all in my head. But yeah, I just felt super down for a while. That I remember my husband would just hug me randomly and I would just start crying or bawling my eyes out just because I really needed that hug. It sounds so dramatic, but I swear, baby blues, it's real, and it really hit me hard. Okay, so now I want to talk to you guys about the physical changes. I had a 1st-degree internal tear, which really isn't bad compared to what I've heard from other women. I did swell really bad. I don't know, but right after giving birth, I really didn't feel much pain. I remember even thinking, it's not so bad. Like, I was able to walk. Peeing wasn't so bad, but I think maybe it's because of the epidural. I'm not sure, but I just remember feeling most of the pain the next day. It was hard to sit, hard to walk, hard to go to the bathroom, and there's also a lot of blood. My bleeding did stop at about 2 weeks or so. I do still have like a little bit of discharge, which is normal. I can't exercise until I've had my 6-week midwife appointment, but I have been trying to go on short walks every day. But I definitely can't carry anything heavy or do any strenuous activity, or else it actually does start feeling very uncomfortable or painful down there. Now I'll share with you all of the things that have been helping me throughout the past few weeks. The first thing here is this Frida Mom Peri bottle. I showed this in my What's My Hospital bag. This is one of the first things that I used right after delivery to wash the V. This is a cleansing bottle that the hospital provided for me, and I did use this too. It's probably extra, but I actually use both of these because after I wash with this, sometimes I feel like it's not enough and I need to wash more. Then I also have this filled up as well. But I do think that this one is better just because of how it's angled. It just makes it easier to get all up in there, you know? There's still water. That's disgusting. But yeah, I definitely recommend getting the Freedom on Peri bottle because it does make it a lot easier to clean down there. Another thing that I used is this topical anesthetic spray. The brand is Hospital Formula American. These bottles. I know a lot of people use Dermoplast, but my hospital provided me so many of these that I didn't feel the need to buy Dermoplast. So I've just been using this. It's been working well. It just says that it stops the pain and itch fast for minor cuts, scrapes, burns, and sunburns. Every time I wash, I follow it up with this. Another thing that I used right away and that my hospital provided me was Witch Hazel pads, and this is just to relieve any itching or burning as well. I think this is a generic brand that the hospital offers. I know a lot of people use Tux as well, but this is what I have. When I ran out of this, I went ahead and bought the Freedom on Perennial Cooling Pad Liners, and what I really liked about this is it was just one long liner. You didn't really have to line up little circles in your pad. It says that it's supposed to deliver front to back cooling relief in a single sheet. But for convenience, yes, I definitely like this one, but in terms of like cooling and relief, I actually feel like these Witch Hazel pads that the hospital provided was a little bit better. The hospital also provided these mesh underwear, but what I really used was the Always Discreet Postpartum Underwear. I showed it in my What's in My Hospital bag. I already ran out because that's what I used like the first few days after birth because again, I just had a lot of bleeding. But yeah, the hospital does provide you with this, but I just think that the Always underwear just felt a lot more comfortable, so I definitely highly recommend that, and I do recommend bringing that with you in the hospital. Another thing that I forgot to mention is the hospital provided me with flushable wipes. I already ran out of those as well, but you can't really wipe down there right after giving birth. All you can do is like really just pat it really gently, and those flushable wipes really just helped make sure that you really clean it without being too rough. I remember trying to wipe with just a normal like tissue paper and it really hurt. It was just too rough, so I definitely recommend getting flushable wipes that are just a little bit softer and a little bit more gentle when you try to pat down there. Another thing that felt amazing right after giving birth was padsicles. The hospital provided me with padsicles, which is basically just frozen diapers, but for convenience I also grabbed a box of this Freedom Mom Instant Ice Maxi Pads. But it's just this big pad. It is very large and it is very heavy. It's not really that comfortable, especially when it's not that cool anymore. But basically you just fold it in half and then you hear a popping sound, you shake it, and then it starts getting cool. So it is very relieving. Do I think it's worth it? Because this was expensive. I think this box was like $20. I don't think it's that worth it. It is very convenient because you don't have to, you know, make padsicles yourself. But unfortunately, I don't think the cooling effect lasts that long. And also this is a huge pad and it's super thick, so it does get really uncomfortable after a while. Another thing that I've been using postpartum is your good old granny panties. I feel like every time you go to the bathroom, it's just this whole routine. You spray, you put your witch hazel pads, cooling pads or padsicles and all of that. So I definitely needed more coverage. So I just grabbed these granny panties from Amazon and Target. I also went ahead and grabbed some nighttime nursing bras. I did already have nursing bras that I picked up when I was pregnant, but I found them to be uncomfortable when I'm sleeping, because usually I don't wear a bra when I'm sleeping, but now that I'm nursing, milk just gets everywhere. If you're breastfeeding, I definitely recommend getting yourself overnight nursing bras because they're just a lot more comfortable. Basically, they just don't have wires. So I got a pack of these from Amazon. Again, they're just really basic, no pads or anything, and you just pull this down to release your boob. Makes it a lot easier for nursing at night and also a lot more comfortable. So I really like this pack. I don't have all of them here, but again, I'm gonna insert a picture of all of the colors that it comes with. I really love this, highly recommend that pack. If you're breastfeeding, I also recommend just getting some nursing pads, especially in the middle of the night. Milk just spills everywhere somehow. So I always have a pack of these ready to go. Lanolin. Nipple cream. Definitely need this. Of course, if you're breastfeeding, your nipples are gonna get sore. This one specifically was highly recommended by my hospital. Say for mom and baby, you don't have to wipe it off before nursing. So I just make sure that I put this on after every feeding. Oh, I also forgot to mention ibuprofen, just a pain reliever because it's gonna hurt, especially the first few days. So I definitely had to make sure that I took these and definitely noticed the difference when I did take pain relievers. And a stool softener. My hospital also provided this too. And at first I thought I wouldn't need it, but girl, you'll need it. Everything down there is just going to be a little bit more sensitive, and when your stool comes in, trust me, you're going to want it to be soft. There, I said it. Actually forgot to mention the donut. Now this was super helpful, especially right after giving birth. This was actually provided by my hospital and something that I never even thought that I would need when I was preparing my hospital bag. Again, I had really bad swelling, so every time I would sit down, it would hurt really bad. So I would just use this and sit on this so that my bottom really wasn't touching, you know, the surface. And I found this to be really helpful for days after giving birth. I don't know if all hospitals provide this, so if your hospital doesn't, I definitely recommend finding one on Amazon or something because this was super helpful for me. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I feel like my baby needs me right about now. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.